Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our Tai Chi weekly public lecture from the European Tai Chi Culture Center. The European Tai Chi Culture Center is dedicated to the dissemination of Chinese traditional culture overseas. Generally, every week we provide public lectures on traditional culture like traditional Chinese medicine, Tai Chi, Chinese art, and language. You're welcome to join us and welcome to invite more friends to join us as well. My name is Liu Schumacher. I'm moderate for today's lecture. I'm based in Nuremberg, Germany, and I'm a student of Master Faye Yip and Master Terry of British Li Deyin Taijiquan Institute. As you know, Master Faye Yip is the daughter of famous Chinese Tai Chi master Li Deyin. Her mission is to promote the Chinese martial art of Taijiquan. She was the first Chinese to bring Chinese Taijiquan on Qigong to the presidency of Ireland, the World Economic Forum Young Leaders Conference, and the home of English Football Championship. And she's the founder of British Chinese Art and Culture Center, the founder of British Tai Chi Academy, the vice president of the International Fitness and Qigong Federation, and the president of British Fitness and Qigong Association. Today, Master Faye Yip will introduce us the step 18 to 20 of the 24 steps Taijiquan. Because of another obligation, she can't give the lecture today live. We will use the recording she did for this lesson. Now, I would like to share her recording with you. So, any questions, please write in chat. We will collect them and pass on her. She will give you the reply in the next session. So just let us start the recording and enjoy the lesson. Thank you.
Thank you to the host, Shi Mei, for that wonderful introduction. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my 7th public lecture on the 24-step Taijiquan. Since we started this series, I received many kind words and comments, feedback. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you have found these public lectures useful, helpful, and to help your Tai Chi journey. Today, we will carry on to the next 3 movements. I will cover 3 movements, namely, after Golden Rooster, standing on one leg, 玉女穿梭, Fairlady walks on the shuttles. The second movement I will cover today is called 海底针, needles at sea bottom. And the third, last but not least, movement for today is 上通背, 上通背, flash through the back, sometimes also translated as the fan through the back. Before we start each movement, let me just share a little story from last weekend, my workshop in Belfast, Northern Ireland. Last weekend, I was invited to teach a workshop in Belfast, Northern Ireland, to a group of yoga practitioners and yoga instructors. And this group have never done Tai Chi and Qigong. So Qigong and Tai Chi are new concept or new practice for them. by the end of the weekend, 2 days, after 10 hours, they all had a wonderful time, but many find the feedbacks were, it's fascinating and it's challenging. It's very interesting for me to hear the yoga practitioners' feedback. They find it fascinating yet challenging. Why? Is it because the movement of Qigong is too difficult? I don't think so. Compare to some of the yoga movements. Qigong movements are not as stretching or challenging physically. Many of yoga practitioners are super flexible and they're very good getting, the posture, the shape of the movements. So what do they find challenging? One participant said it very, very clearly, which I think is unique. I want to share. She said she finds the hardest thing is to make sure the mind stay with her movements. She finds when she is following these simple movements, her mind is shifted away. She finds her mind is all over the place. In fact, she said, my mind is just, thinking of all sorts of the thoughts, just left, right, and center. They all come into her mind. And that she finds is very challenging. And I think this is so common, and it's so, it's what I hear perhaps for many Tai Chi Qigong instructors that are students as well. So how we can engage, we can keep our mind engaged with our movements has become more the key to your good practice or deepen our practice. The shape of the movements to many, I think, are truly not too difficult. However, is the mind is more challenging. We have a phrase called, from Chinese, both Chinese and English, call our mind monkey mind. Monkey mind. 心猿意马. Okay, so very similar is to describe and recognize our mind is the hardest to master, to keep control. The movement of the body in comparison, some techniques are harder, some are easier, but by and large, it can be mastered easier. The hardest task here is to master the mind. And the more things, the knowledge or the rules that we are taught, the busier our mind can be. When you're thinking about the process of getting it right, sometimes it can produce tensions when you concentrate too hard. If you think about when you're learning to drive, when you sit behind the wheels for the first time and that car is moving, do you remember that kind of a tension that we were, and just worried if we missed something? Have I forgotten to look at the mirror, or have I looked at the wing mirror, or have I checked the seatbelt, and have I checked the gearbox? So all of these things and tasks that go through our mind. So our mind is racing and eyes open, like staring to the front. Oh, have I seen this? And the whole body becomes quite tense. So learning sometimes is not the first job in Tai Chi and Qigong, is to learn how to enter a frame of mind that is calm, quiet, tranquil, and learn to switch off from all thoughts, leaving all thoughts. What happened yesterday? What's about to happen tomorrow? Leave all these thoughts at the door. And in your mind, you want to create a space and time, and just for yourself, just for your connections of your mind, listening space to the body, listening space for your breathing, to feel each and every breath, each and every transitional movement from one movement to the next. Okay, and not just as a stilled picture. Picture one, the starting point, and picture two, or the final picture, and nothing in between. And quite often, our mind, our brain, only have what looks the beginning, what looks the end, and in the middle, it's absent. Okay, so this is why quite often at the beginning of my class, I always said, try to forget or try to empty your mind. Don't think about all these, even philosophies and principles can sometimes become overwhelming in trying to get to perfection, or worry about you missed out something. And those can produce a little bit tension. So without further ado, my invitation again is to allow yourself to enter this frame of mind, paying attention to your intention. The intention is to stay with your flow of the movements and to stay with the smoothness of your breathing. Okay, wonderful. If it doesn't happen today, as long as you keep trying and your brain can be slowly trained to enter and stay with this frame of mind. Okay, are you ready? I'm going to demonstrate and show you the 3 movements, first of all, and in its entirety. And then we will go through each movement at a time. I hope you are ready now, and let's begin. Appropriate warm-up is always recommended. For the limited time when we do these live streaming, I rely on your wonderful self to complete your warm-up exercise. Even Tai Chi is a safe, gentle form of exercise. The right warm-up, loosen up your joints in the body, and to stretch, giving your body a little bit stretch and open up all the joints are still very important. Okay, now I'm ready to demonstrate, and you may watch. Those who knows the form can also follow. Find yourself a safe space. Last time we finished the movement from golden rooster, standing on one leg, 金鸡独立，玉女穿梭 begin. Okay. Now you have seen the 3 movements. The flow is so important. So we don't want to stop and start. The energy keeps moving. We will get to the flow a little later when we have learned the 3 movements. We have analyzed or share with you how to look at the footwork, how to look at your handwork, and how to put them together. So these are the technical features and requirements. Of course, beyond the physical shape, as I said, the most important quality comes from the unity and the harmony between our minds, and always throughout the process is the mind stay with that feeling of internal, the changes of the body. And the technical features are the media to anchor our mind. Otherwise, it's like a kite, kite flying up. They have to be connected by a string, right? So this string of anchoring the mind, monkey mind, we have a wonderful name, both in English and in Chinese. The mind is like monkey, very active to bring it down. The reason we talk about the changes of the hand and footwork for the time being, for quite a lengthy time, is about engaging the mind. Okay, now when you're ready, let's begin with the first movement. 玉女穿梭, Fairlady works on shuttles. I'm going to demonstrate this posture facing the camera. The map, if we map out the changes of this posture, is diagonal, 45 degrees, diagonal, left and right. So I'm not doing the mirrored image. I'm just going through, this is my left, is the first direction, and then to my right is the second direction, okay? So the footwork will go like a zigzag direction. So let me just show you again from the front. 玉女穿梭, stepping out 45 degrees. Hold the ball, bring the back foot up. Step out to the other corner and gently lift the bottom hand. And finally, shift your weight, block and push. Okay, this is the first one. We will do 2 of the same movement. This is the first one. We'll end up to the right corner. Right hand blocking, left hand pushing. To break this movement down a little bit more, I will show you and or take you through the footwork or some of the features, how you could do this footwork with smooth flow. No hands, if you like to just follow me with the footwork. I go back a little bit so I have enough space. So in your own time, so try to shift your weight in preparation, okay, in preparation. Shift your weight over to your right leg. This is not the mirrored image. This is my right leg, and you do the same. And lift your left foot up. Good. And soften the supporting foot. Sink and step to the left corner. Gradually shift your weight forward. Try to make this process like pouring sand from the back foot to the front foot. And gradually shift your weight forward, forward, forward. And when you have transferred forward enough, so bring the back foot up, peeling up from the heel to the toes of the floor. Balance on one foot and the back foot rests to the inner corner of your ankle. Then step out to the right corner. Again, notice it's very light and controlled. Then we shift weight forward slowly until your body weight distribute more or less 60% in the front leg, 40% to the back foot. So pouring the body weight forward, forward, forward. Good. If you bring the back foot up, there should be a hip space or round about 2 fists or the width of your own foot. There should be some space. If you draw the extension of your front foot and back foot. Okay, let's try to do this movement again. Try to think first and reaching out when you do the step ever so light. You pick your foot up with control and you land with control. Okay, and then transfer weight. Keep seated as if you're sitting on the bar stool with the roller, with the coast, and sliding your tailbone forward. Okay, let's try this again. When you're ready, you can stand on one leg when you're ready. So this is including the transitional footwork from the previous move. Soften the supporting foot. Soft and sit down. And now to the corner. Look, step, land with the heel, sitting onto your bar stool and roll the tailbone forward. That's it, nice and smooth. And bring the back foot up. As you keep transfer, bring the back foot up. And then open the hip, step to the other corner. Sit down again, transfer weight. Pouring sand from one cup to another and feel that smooth roller coaster chair on the coast. Transfer weight forward and sliding back to the next corner. Transfer weight forward, control, open hip and step, sit down, return to the previous corner. Transfer weight and close the hip. Now we return to the first corner, ready for the second 玉女穿梭。好。This is our footwork. As you can see, go zig-zag 45 degrees. What happens with the arms, with the hands? While you step corner, making the corner step, our hands will change from 调掌. When we balance on one leg, this hand shape is what like a lift or little gentle flick, if you like. 调, like you're using the fishing rod to flick, okay? So a little bit energy of upwards. The palm is diagonal, turned, diagonal, the palm. So from here, we're going to hold the ball, palm to palm, hold the ball, palm to palm. From the holding balloon position, checking if the elbows slightly down, below your wrists, below the shoulder. Shoulders down, elbows down as you hold your balloon. Try not to lift the elbows up. That's it. When you're ready, we move on to the next part. Roll, almost imagine you roll the balloon, roll the ball, and use the bottom hand to lift. Lift up. Continue to lift. Continue to lift. The left palm will gently push forward. As you rotate and block upwards. Okay, this is the hand shape. Now follow me, I will do the other hand shape. Okay, from holding ball, let's see if I can do the mirrored image this time. Okay, mirrored image. Now the mirrored image, this will be my left leg now, left hand. And no footwork, just the hands, okay? So 1, hold your ball, palm to palm. 2, roll the ball, turn, roll the ball, kind of circle, roll the ball, lift the bottom hand, and block and push. The top hands, after lifting, continue to rotate, block away. The bottom hand will push forward. Okay. Here is our mirrored image. Of course, we do both sides. So we develop both sides of left and right brain and coordination. So it doesn't really matter if you are doing the opposite direction to me. It doesn't really matter, okay? And we do both sides. Now I'm going to talk about the coordination now between the hand movement and the foot movement. Again, if you find the directions is confusing, not to worry, because this is just, we do both. Now, to help you, or to make it easier, I will do the mirrored image this time, facing the camera. Okay, so hand and foot now together. When you're ready, sink and step to the corner. 1. Bring the back foot up, hold the ball. I'll just come back a little bit. Make sure you can see. 2, step, roll the ball, roll and lift. This is 2. 3, transfer weight. Continue to block and push. To the other side. 1, shift your weight back. And 2, transfer weight forward, hold your ball again. 3, step and circle the ball. 4, block and push. Bring the back foot up, sliding the hands down. Okay, so if we break the posture to three parts, then there's some key moments you want to coordinate. One, from standing on one leg, whether it's mirrored image or the same side. One, you want to step and bring the back foot up, hold the ball. At two, you want to take a corner step at the same time. Roll the ball to be ready for block and push. Step and lift. Three, transfer weight, block and push. This hand and foot coordinate, happen together to be able to deliver the final technique. Same to the other side. 1, 2, 3. The idea for this movement, or the intention, is to neutralize an incoming push. Partners coming in, pushing forward, and I neutralize. I gently follow the incoming direction. As I follow, I already neutralized or changed that force into my advantage, or no longer be a threat to me. As soon as I neutralize that, my other hands will follow up to push back. That is the technique, if you like, the application, if you like. And all the previous, the 1 and 2, is to prepare for this, the contact to be formed, and to deliver the final application. In your mind's eye, you are playing for real. So your intention is real. Even though this intention is visualization. You imagine, you visualize, you are reacting with your opponent. It's not a real person. However, the power of your visualization and mind active engagement plays a huge part and transformative influence onto your movements, the quality of your movements. So do imagine how what your posture is doing. That also helps to keep that string of the monkey mind to anchor into your body, the present moment, here and now. Okay, now let's do one more run through of these movements and move on to the next. I'm going to return to the correct direction now. Ready, go. 玉女穿梭. 1, 2, 3. Number 2. 1, 2, 3. Good. Bring the back foot up. Floating your hands down. 好. Well done so far. The next movement is called 海底针, needles at sea bottom. Again, I face the camera first. The changes of the foot and hands we'll talk about. After the second 玉女穿梭, the footwork will change from bow stance corner facing, taking a half a step up, and then turn back to straight, and draw the other foot in, then pointing your toes. We have learned or used this stance, 虚步, empty stance, because the body weight, very little, supported by the front foot. It's solid onto the back foot. Okay, so this is the footwork. Direction, turn back to straight. The straight direction, if you were following my clock on the floor, should be 12 o'clock facing the back wall. Now we should be facing 9 o'clock. Okay, 12, 3, 6, and 9. So it should be go straight to 9 o'clock. For temporary or illustration purpose, my 9 o'clock is just gravitates to the camera so that you can see better. So let's try to look at the hands change. Now we already know the footwork, which is half a step is 1, sitting back, shift your weight, and 3. Yeah, 2, draw in, 3, toe resting. This is the side view. The body shape will change slightly when we do the hands. Now let's have a look at the hands. When you were in the push, block and push, now the hand change. This is not the mirrored image, I stress. Okay, when you turn to right, as you turn the body to your right, the both hands doing 2 separate things. The higher hand, this higher hand, will draw a curve, will curve its way down, The downward pushing hand will circle in to your hips, to the hips, side of your hips, to continue to circle up, downward, upwards, and the top hands as it from circle down in a curve from sideways and downwards, you draw and lift your right hand up. And then 3, your left hand will circle, brush around the front. And with your right hand, we lift up, jab, jab, using the fingers diagonal downwards, forward and downwards, jabbing down. Cha zhang, in Chinese, we describe the technique as in cha zhang, okay, thrusting or jabbing diagonal downwards. The circling hands is try to block away. So here a little bit, you know, can be a little bit busy with our arms, So top hands will circle down like a follow an S shape, okay? In Tai Chi, we like movements that draw in circles, reflecting the neutralizing, you know, all the energies we try to neutralize or never go head on in the principle of Tai Chi. It is about neutralizing, changing, transforming, okay? So we follow a curve to prepare the other hands. The other hands will circle inward, downwards, upwards, and jabbing. whatever circles that we're doing with the hands, the ultimate aim is to neutralize and clearly create a space so that you can produce a counter attack. Okay, so you're receiving a kick or push, you always neutralize, you follow and react to it, and creating a space for you to return. If your opponents, imaginary opponents, interact with you, you must interact back, but using the flow, the softness of the Tai Chi principle. At least that is the aim of our form practice. Okay, that is one of the pillars, that guiding principles of Tai Chi. It's about, you know, neutralizing, transform the energy, and for the Li and strength. Neutralize and return. 好. When we say softness, we don't mean softness as like a noodle, like no strength. Okay, we don't mean softness with no substance. We only mean softness as opposed to the brutal force, the muscle fiber, the brutal force, purely based on the strength and speed. Okay, it's the speed of your punch, the speed of your block. It's only or predominantly deciding as a deciding factor. So what that's in the context of the brutal force and muscle fiber and speed and power, we use Tai Chi as, we describe Tai Chi as soft. However, soft is not, doesn't mean feeble, okay, like collapsing energy. It's there's an underlying strength, there's an underlying energy, like the waves of the ocean. On the surface of it, water is the softest thing, but when they move with energy, water can be the hardest force, destroy everything on the way. So there must be an underlying energy when we practice Tai Chi. So the energy is not outwardly like fast and speed, but there must be an underlying energy in your practice. The energy we call in jargon is peng. Peng is an expanding resilience, growth of energy within the movements. Every movement, we should reach to a state of expansion, strong, resilient, wrapped or presented in the softness externally. But underneath of that softness approach, there is strength with it. Okay, let's try to talk about the coordination between the two hand and foot, two parts. Of course, this coordination is led by our waist, and everything starts from here. However, when we learn step by step, we learn from the upper body and lower body. It's a quicker way to understand, but the essence, when we put together, is coming from the center. Good. Now I'm going to do the mirrored image this time. So starting to lead you. Okay. Now the coordination. Half a step up. 1, half a step up. 2, as you sit back, we circle, neutralize, and prepare the other hands. 2, Draw the front foot in. 3. Jabbing, circle and jab. Empty stance, all at the same time. Hand, waist, foot, eyes and body. When you're jabbing forward, your body needs to give the intention, so to slightly lean forward. This lean forward does not mean collapsing of the back. This is collapse. So we carry on with the straight in the torso, but draw the hip crease in. Pull the hip crease in, sit and fold from here and leaning forward with a straight back. Okay, good. 好, this is the coordination. We break it down to 3 small parts. Let's do it once more for the mirrored image before we move on. Step up is 1, turn. 2, draw the front foot in. 3. Okay. I hope that speed, what you can follow, not too fast. It does take practice. If you haven't quite got it or feel comfortable with it, it does take lots of practice, like all arts in Chinese culture, whether you learn music, Chinese, or even Western music, playing piano or violin, Chinese art, calligraphy, painting, music, or even, you know, like sports, any sport, it takes time to practice to get better. I will leave that part of the job to your capable hands at home. Now, let's talk about the last movement for today. The last movement is shan tong bei, flash through the back, flash through the back. As in the forms, when we have finished needles at C bottom, we'll come up, 1 step, okay, so this is how it appears in the form. We break this movement down to 2 counts. We use 1 and 2 counts. And let's have a look of the changes in the footwork. Again, my 9 o'clock will now shift towards the camera, just for you to see clearly. Now, if I don't do the mirrored image, we should have the left foot, my left foot, right hand, opposite hand to the foot to front. Okay, raise the hands, hold the hands up, draw the front foot in, step, and pull back, push forward. Step in. The changes in the foot. Let's have a look from empty stance. This is the empty stance, or the mirrored image. I swap over, okay. Draw the foot back and step out again. This time when we step out, we don't need like hip width too wide. This is suitable, the hip width is suitable for the opposite connections to the foot and hands, opposite connection. The flash through the back is not opposite connection. And therefore, it's corresponding side of hand and foot in front. For this type of movement, we don't need shoulder width. We need a slight narrower space, narrower footwork. So we step forward, look, the front foot, there's just a little gap to the back heel. Ready? Let's do it again. 1 step, 2, transfer weight again, lengthening the tailbone, sitting on the bar stool and roll forward. Okay, so this is what we have a special term called 顺弓步, meaning the corresponding side of the hand and foot will come forward, will be in front. This type of bow stance we call 顺弓步. When we have the opposite hand to foot in front to coordinate, for example, 玉女穿梭 or 楼膝奥步, brush knee twist step. When we have the opposite hand to the foot, we call this type of coordination 拗弓步. 拗弓步 means the opposite. Okay, a little bit special term for you. So this is the footwork change. Now let's have a look of the hand change. Doing the mirrored image, first, 1 hand change from the jabbing, from the fingers diagonally forward and downwards, pull up, over diagonally above your temple, okay? 1, both hands together, doesn't have to be skin to skin touch, but they are together. The fingers supporting the wrists by the heel of the palm. So drawing up from here, 1, 2, from here, we open, push forward, and pull back. Okay, so 1, 2 is the changes of the hands. Again, what are we doing? We're neutralizing, creating a contact, neutralizing by a full incoming force. We rotate and gently guide it away from our head, chest, and the targeted area. Gently guide away so it does no longer pose a threat to us. So I'm neutralizing away and then creating at the same time, creating a space for my hands to push into. Okay, so this is the whole, everything you can see now is about preparation, or assess the situation and then for preparation for our safety or reacting as a self-defense, and then return counter attack. Okay, so let's try to put this hand and foot together as coordination. Okay, I'm doing the mirrored image again just to help those based in learning from home. 1, draw the front foot in. Okay, hands together. Step out. 2, push and pull. Pull back, push forward. When you finish push forward, check if your hands, pushing hands, and your knee and your toe, whether they are all in the same direction. Your middle finger in line with your nose. So your eyes are softly gazing through your fingertips. Elbows down, shoulders down, and they're all aligned forward. Backhand, pull back diagonally above your temple. From the side view, 1, 2, look, push forward, pull back. Yeah, when you transfer your body weight forward, push and pull. Okay, there are these usually in a one class space. I don't teach too many movements because there's a vast amount of information to take in, to digest, and it takes time, as I said before. Also, less is more sometimes, where I really like this phrase in English. By learning too many, our brain is saturated, can be saturated and overload with information. So focusing on a smaller number of movements, but go deeper, sometimes or give us time to digest, to think it over, and most importantly, to experience those feelings, the principles, and how they instilled or how they embodied in the movement. It's worth more for benefits for you to get out. Okay, before we run out of time today, I would like to invite you just to run through these 3 movements as our final practice. Are you ready? Okay. Ready? 玉女穿梭 1, 2, 3. Number 2. 2, 3. 海底针 half a step up, 1. Circle, block, 2. Draw the foot in, 3. Jump. 闪通背 1. Draw the foot in, 2. Step. Push and pull. Taking the back foot up. Step in, feet together. Okay, well done. I hope today's lesson has brought you some useful tips and insights, helping you to improve, those who have learned the pattern, the 24-step, to improve on your practice. And if you're new to this sequence, the 24-step, then I hope it helps you to start, giving you a starting point. It does take a little while to get a good grip with it, but with your regular practice, you should be, and with, if you have a teacher, regular class to go to, you will find you progress a lot faster, a lot sooner. Good. That's all we have time for this public lecture. I'm sorry we won't have time to do question and answers today. As I'm recording this session, I will be teaching in Manchester to a conference of TCM conference. By the time you're watching this, I look forward to that and sharing our common ground, the TCM practitioners, all experts, all top, experts in the field of TCM in UK, and many travel from Europe to be here. So I look forward to share our common ground and how we use the philosophy and principles in different areas, different skill sets, but achieving the same aim to help people to maintain health and well-being. Okay, that's all for today. Let me say goodbye for now. Okay, do our Tai Chi and martial arts salute. Thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you everyone. I hope that you enjoy this lesson. And still, if you have any questions, please let us know. We will take it. Thank you very much, and until next time.